live from beautiful Lake Vancouver, outside of Vancouver, Washington. Not the pretty Vancouver, but the cheap Vancouver. We have today on the Aunty Sochelle Hour-ish show.
You know, this partnership doesn't have to end here. You and I could do wonderful things. We could rebuild the Knights of the Shield and run it together. What do you say?
One of the most amazing voices in all of gaming and television commercials, if not the world. Sorry, Mark Cashman, you've been pushed out of the big.
Wow.
There. And sorry, Neil Newman, but you might be cute, but this guy's funny, and funny trumps cute all the time. So hopefully I won't get beat up after a mocap session. Mr. Scott Joseph, welcome to the Aunty Sochelle Hour show. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here. Yeah, that was some intro. I've got a lot to live up to now. I'm a little bit nervous.
Oh no, I'm going to take off my headphones because I realize I have you on my speaker and I don't want to echo.
Oh, very good.
So sir, I spent the week watching you as a policeman in about 40 things. Do you often play policeman, or were you aspiring to be one as a child?
I mean, I think when I was doing more screen acting work, I guess I had the kind of guy next door, young dad, policeman vibe going on. So yeah, that was probably my go-to.
This guy's safe.
You always have a character that you can fall back on, that kind of stuff. So it was fun.
How did you start in this wonderful field of theatrics we call voice acting and performance?
Well, right. Well, I think I kind of, it's very often that it's a kind of, you venture into it. If you're an actor, you kind of think, well, I'm already doing a lot of acting and voice work with my voice while I'm acting and on stage and stuff like that. And I at the time I'd started doing audio description, which is voiceovering for the visually impaired. So we script and voice what happens in TV and films when no one's talking. So if you were blind, you wouldn't be able to know what's going on. So my voice comes in and lets you know what that is. So it's great fun. But I was thinking, I've got access to a studio here. I can stay in of an evening and just record some stuff. Why don't I do that? So I started doing that, and just basically it was like rehearsing piano or playing a flute or something.
Do you do piano and flute?
No, I don't.
So you're not a flouty pianist?
If I'm not a flouty pianist.
Okay.
Oh, don't say that when you've had a few. Oh my word! I'm so glad I pronounced that correctly. Yes, but I basically started practicing with my voice, and so then I got a demo cut back when that was the go-to. More often now, you have to audition for stuff regardless of whether you got a demo or not. But your demo was like your calling card back then, and so I got a demo cut and fell into it that way. Just kind of really blundered in, treading on all the rakes, getting smacked in the face, learning the hard way, and then basically eventually started clawing my way up the ladder. And I'd never really thought, I want to be in commercials, or I want to be in...
You never thought you'd be a cartoon looking Max Headroom kind of guy?
Oh, well, no. Although I did have the chance to play a guy like Max Headroom in a show. Yeah, that was fun.
Look up his commercials, people. The Fanta commercials especially are my favorites.
Well, that was a newsreader guy. Yeah, but the Max Headroom, which was I think
what was that one for?
JV. There's a character called JV, and it was actually for a cruise ship. So they do these spectacular shows on cruise ships now that are virtually West End.
As a comedian, I also has a stand-up on a cruise ship, and yes, they have.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, you get seasick and you laugh and throw up on people. It's great.
Yes. Yeah, and if you do it when the ship's searching that way, it goes away, and if it's
I sprayed them.
Yeah, I mean,
you can see things like Lacage, you can see things like Rent, or you can see things like Annie. Yeah.
And this show was a kind of, I think it was called Reflex, and it was a tribute to 80s pop songs and stuff. And they had these 9 massive screens going around the stage, and they wanted a kind of comedy character, JB, to link all the songs and be the kind of comedy relief between the setups. And so I got to do like just be a prat. It's very my type of humor.
Typecast again.
Yeah, my kind of humor is I'm very just gesticulations all over the place. And so I try. Well, one of my heroes is Jim Carrey, that kind of, and Robin Williams, those kind of fantastic actors. Yeah, rest in peace.
We could talk Robin for days.
And Stefan Carl Stephenson. Stefan Carl, not Carl Stephenson. Stefan Carl, who played Robbie Rotten in the TV series of Lazy Town. All of those kind of big character, fun actors, I really loved. So I just got to lean into that and basically just be a prat.
Which is fun. And you know what? The best thing about doing comedy as an actor is you get to take that mask off and nobody necessarily recognizes who you are anymore, which I love.
Certainly not when you've sat in a chair for 7 hours on having prosthetics applied. So
many colors. You had a shirt similar to this, and the orange and the yellows and
yeah. I think we're going back sometime, but I think the prosthetic guy might have had some hand in Alien. So I was like, ooh. This is cool, and they were fantastic. And I don't mind. I find it quite therapeutic sitting in a chair, having your face
being coiffed.
Being plasticized me. Well, it's latex.
Dip me in the epoxy. Bring me out again.
Well, and the thing with JV is because it was latex and it was so thick. I thought, oh, I'm smiling, but with all the latex on, it was like this. So I really had to kind of like just to get it.
You end up having to feel like Buster Keaton.
Yeah. But so inwardly I was doing that, but outside it was like, which was it did take some getting used to, but it was great fun, and I had a real laugh, and we did some real kind of pratfall type stuff.
Isn't it? Now, did you study improvisation?
Yeah, well, at uni we did. I did a performing arts degree course, and so we did some, but then we didn't really do much. And so a group of us were really keen to do more, and so we set up a group, and we did some comedy improv games, and then we finished with an improv musical.
Oh, what are they?
Like a guy on a piano. One of the guys was an excellent. Adam was an excellent pianist, and he could just literally make up a tune. And so and then we booked a slot at the Bloomsbury Theatre in London, and it was fantastic. I love it. It's fly by your seat in your pants, but I love that stuff.
Yeah, improv is my all-time favorite comedy. I don't know why. Maybe Second City had something to do with that, but I was in Second City for many years ago.
I think the thing is that there's nothing to hold you back, and if you're with the right kind of group of people that really understand and get improv, there's no blocking. There's nothing to block you. It's just oh, you're giving me this, great, thanks. I'll take it and do more with it, and then you send it back, and they go, oh, great. And you look at each other like, this is fun, isn't it?
It's like, for those who don't know what improv is, basically, unlike regular acting where you react to what somebody is doing, you have a script and all that, you are like, people become your chocolate. Let's say you're doing a good trick, here's your candy. Oh, I will take that candy and I will turn it into a caramel, and I'm going to give it back to you. And that person will take that caramel and turn it into a nut bar. They will give it back to you. And it goes back and forth until you finally have full ice cream sundae.
And the beautiful thing is you don't really know where it's going to go. And I think with a group that's willing to go there, you can actually take it into some quite not comic areas and then pull the comedy out of that.
Yes.
So, there's some excellent comedians who do that really well. I mean, Chris Morris over here, who does Day to Day and all that kind of stuff, is fantastic. I really loved that, not knowing what direction it's going in, and the audience, you play off, it's like another member of the group, because you play off the audience. Oh, this is working, guys. Let's mine this for everything it's worth.
Yes, exactly. What candy are they giving me? Oh, they're giving me the sad candy. Okay, let's give them back some more sad.
Yeah, exactly. Or, oh no, we've lost them. And that's good, because then you're fishing around for something else. Yeah. So it's just a heightened sense of awareness. It doesn't always work, and I've fallen flat on my face many times, but that's part of the fun of it.
And you're tall, so that's a lot of falling.
That's a long way to go. And then they laugh.
Then you got them back again. See how it works? Yeah, next week we're going to be talking to a live broadcast. We're going to do it live with 20-Sided Tavern.
Fantastic. They're doing a lot in New York, aren't they?
Dungeons and Dragons. Have you done that yet? Have you?
No, Mike. I mean, I'm not big enough.
20-Sided Tavern. You gotta get this, gentleman.
It would be fine. I know that Sam did it. Sam
and Deborah and that Neil Newbin guy. Newcomb. No, what's his name? Nesbitt. No, whatever his name is.
Yeah, just with the fangs.
Yeah. He's some Neil guy.
I mean, if they don't have tentacles, I'm not interested.
I started being a gamer, but I'm just swinging left and right. I don't have any topics. I didn't make a list. I just go with it. So
yeah, let's go with the flow.
This is improvisation 101. I'm really just asking you some questions.
Improvisation.
Yeah.
You ask me a question, I'll try to answer.
Well, the question I have for you, sir, as I discuss this with you, is as a game performer, have you ever been a game player?
Oh, God, yes.
Okay, let's hear about it.
Now, let's go back. Okay, so when I started in games, not acting, but playing, it was way back in Mattel Electronics in television. I don't know whether anyone else is old enough to know those little, it was a rectangular thing, plug-in cartridges. You had like 12 buttons and a disc that you push. And I used to play that. My dad got virtually every game. He got the voice modulator that you plug into it. Me17.
That's fun. I want one now.
Oh, God. I think we've still got it at home, actually. I must try and dig it out. But yeah, it's fantastic. And then from there, we progressed on to the Commodore 64. I mean, that was power.
You were a rich family.
Well, no, because then there was the Commodore Amiga.
Oh, I was the Amiga person.
Yep. There you go. It's richer than a Commodore 64.
Well, I had to use mine at university, you see.
Yeah, I mean, so my dad, I used to play with my dad. So I played a lot of games by myself, but my dad and I had a few games, both in in television and on the Commodore 64, that we played together. And I think that's where my appreciation of kind of long form gaming comes from. So we would play for hours.
Yes. And what a wonderful
my
way
mum
to
would come in
bond
and go,
with your dad.
My mum would come in and go, Stephen, he's got school tomorrow. But my dad was like, no, we'll just finish this section and then he was like, don't worry, son, it's fine. And we go back to gaming like that. Because back then it's really hard to save games, when you're loading them up on a cassette.
Oh, if they had save files at all.
Oh, well, because my dad then got for the Commodore, he got the floppy drive, with the floppy discs.
The external.
Yeah.
Good for your dad.
And that was really good. That's when you could start. But yeah, it was so depressing playing a game with the tapes and and it loads up. You'd spend about half an hour waiting for it to load, watch the screen loading.
Yeah. And it would be
and then just as it was about to load up, it'd go error or something.
Or you have to go back and blow into the little disc.
Yeah. Well, we had to put our tape player on its side to get it to load.
Oh. Gravity is your friend.
I think it was probably due to dirty heads.
Oh,
Yeah, let's
which
not
is
go
a band I used to be in way back.
Playing at the Dublin Castle.
Yeah, I think the very first gaming system I was ever on, because I'm at least 20 years older than you, was
No,
I'm
I refuse to believe
61.
that.
I'll be 61 next week.
I'm 50. I was 50 on 16th of Feb.
We have good genes. I married a
Yeah.
much younger guy too, so that helps. So,
Yes. Yes.
I have a paycheck and a good credit rating.
Gaming reference there.
Worked every time.
Yeah.
Meet them at the Special Olympics. It's easy. So, oh gosh, that was rude. Yep. So anyway, welcome to my humor. So, yes. So the gaming console I used to use was a tennis table, table tennis, but we had Pong.
Yes. Yeah. We had Pong,
and you played on your TV with an Atari. That every family in the neighborhood where I grew up chipped in to buy this Atari set, and whoever had the biggest TV in the neighborhood, that's whose house ended up having it. And we would go to that house and play Pong, that's the whole game. That's it.
Yeah, there was one on the Mattel Electronics game called Lock and Chase, which was essentially a bit like Pac-Man. Oh my god! Well, I've wasted so, and I would be playing it, crying. You know, kind of really stressing, but not being able to stop. And yeah,
it's a good addiction.
A few games like that.
It's a very good addiction.
But then, from then, you know, it progressed on to Nintendo and then the PlayStations, and now, and I got into kind of shoot 'em ups, but also a few kind of broader games, and then I dropped out when, you know, I had a family. It's not really gamer friendly, but I got back into like Horizon Zero Dawn.
I have alloy. I don't know if you can. Well, of course you can't tell because it's in blur, but I have alloys all over this room. So I'm a big alloy fan.
And I was so desperate to play Forbidden West when it first came out, and I got it, and then it sat, and I did nothing. And I'm just completing it now. Can you believe?
Yes.
I've got one more credit. I've got the Singularity, which I know is the last mission. I did it on hard, and I'm regretting that for the arena challenges because I've completed everything else, and I'm a bit of a completionist.
See, I'm that way. I have to finish everything or the game's not done.
Yeah, but the arena challenges are just impossible. Not all of them, just the final big boss, like the Tremor Tusk one, because the ones with the locked loadout where you don't get to choose your weapons. So yeah.
And you can't mod because it's on a PlayStation. So, well, you could, but you know.
So I've got a stack of games that I've still got to play. Sorry?
We would never mod anything, Sony. No. No. But I have a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, the digital one. I didn't get the one with the disc drive. Silly.
Yeah, I did.
So dumb. But and then we get the Xboxes, all of them, every Xbox ever made. So, but I have like all of my games sitting over here, looking at me, going, "I want to play with you.
Come.
Yeah.
With us."
Yes. And I'm
that's like, what happens to me. Is my wife would be like, we're going up because our kids don't know that I'm going to have a game evening. They will wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So when my wife goes, "Yeah, we're going out to bed. I'm going out to bed," and I'll be like, I'll be up in a sec. And then I'll get a text from her at 1 o'clock in the morning. "Where are you?" Yes. Save game, go.
Everybody knows I call Skyrim Skycrack because we just play it. You know, you start on a Friday, you're finished on Tuesday.
Oh my god, yeah.
So, you know, and now Oblivion's out. So,
wow, and also Exhibition 33 looks tasty as well.
I'm really looking forward to Jennifer English's new toy there. And but when I ran into Baldur's, now here I'm going to go back to the topic. See how I did that? It's called a segue. Yes. You know, like a little toy you ride on. So when I started doing Baldur's, I remembered why I loved gaming so much. It was like the first time I played Dragon's Age again. It was like the first time I played anything with a good story. Like I'm
Yeah.
really about the good writing. We have some
Yeah, yeah,
writers
yeah.
coming on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of my biggest heroes in the whole planet is Andy Serkis. And I wanted to be him growing up. In my 30s. I can't say growing up because we're the same age. So in my 30s, I wanted to be him because he would just evolve these characters, even in games,
Yeah.
evolve them into something
Yeah.
way beyond. And when I first heard your voice, I'm like, that guy's the Emperor? Because I did not guess that was the same guy.
Yes. Well, yeah, because the when you audition for characters, you don't always get a full kind of rounded impression of what the character is.
Right.
So partly because maybe they don't want to reveal that, partly because it might not be fully rounded in the minds of the developers. There's a whole host of reasons why it might be so. But what I really liked about what I got to audition with it was a really nice, lengthy couple of scenes. And so I kind of went in a direction that I felt it felt right for what I'd been given. And it just happened to tap into the kind of characteristics of the Emperor. And so he's, right at the bottom of my range, so you don't project that much. And then that worked really well for the telepathic
Your
nature.
after 10 p.m. voice is what we call that.
Yes, yes.
And that's how you get children we hear.
Well, yeah, well, I'm sure my wife would disagree, but she'd probably say I wore a blindfold. Her, not me. So yeah, it was a great honor to play that character. I had no idea it was quite as pivotal or plot heavy as perhaps.
And I still am afraid to give away spoilers in that game because people are still just starting it, and it's like I don't want to say anything about it. But he's so much bigger than just the Emperor.
Yeah, I mean, you can go through the game and not have much to do with the Emperor, or you can do an awful lot with. There he is.
Oh, you want to see this thing or this thing?
Oh,
there he is! Look at him; he's beautiful. Oh, that's gorgeous.
I would lift it. Yeah, because this is my plushy corner.
Yes, I've seen this. And the artwork. Oh my God, your fans have made you some incredible things.
I know. Well, this one I got in Phoenix recently.
With Dave Jones, who was there.
Yeah, and Andrew and Emma and Sam. Yeah, it was great fun.
All the good peoples. They had all the good, except for Theo. They were missing the Theo.
Oh, Theo was there as well. Yes, no, God, he was. Yes,
okay.
Theo was there. As well.
Okay, good. Don't forget Theo. Poor Theo doesn't have many.
He is such a lovely guy,
and he needs more lines.
Yeah.
They really cut his part down to like this micro part. I'm like,
did
no.
they? I've got the game.
Yeah,
but I haven't played it yet.
We're going to have to do a live session, you and I, on my Twitch channel of you and I playing the game.
Because, I mean, I've got a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a just under 2-year-old. So not that conducive to playing the game. Because I thought when I first got the game, I was like, I've got a few hours. Do you mind if I? And my wife was like, no, you've got some hours. Let's go. So 3 hours later, I just created my character.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is what happened. You get sucked in.
Yeah.
These are my kids, these little fur monsters. I don't know if this is Trixie.
No.
She's sick right now. She hurt her spine, so she's getting special love right now.
So bless.
This is why I was late for the broadcast.
Recovery.
So. She's 10 years old, rat terrier. She's my service dog, but she's going on retirement, and we're training my other dog to take over for her. But she's a PTSD veterans approved service dog. So
Wow.
Very smart little girl. Too smart for my own good.
Absolutely.
But her little back has tumors in it, and her spine is getting crushed.
Oh,
So we're just giving her spoiling and ice creams and steaks and uh,
is it Trixie? You say?
Trixie.
Well,
Bellatrix
I'm
Violet.
sending positive healing vibes to you, Trixie. I hope you feel better.
She loves that. Say
Yeah.
thank you. Give kisses.
Look at those ears. They're
Give
pretty
kisses.
yeah. Sorry. No, I want to look at you, Mum. That's
She's
what Trixie's.
shit. So
That's
yeah,
what
so
Trixie's
we
saying.
went way off
Look at
topic.
Mum.
Give me a kiss. She's like, no, Mom, just let me rub my. She's medicated right now, so she's a little. Wow, man, look at my paw. Have you ever like looked at your
I
paw?
never, yeah, like just.
Wow, that's a lot of fur. Oh wow, there's nails and stuff. There she goes.
Where does the
Yeah,
poor
she's-
end?
See, I forgot to have kids. So yeah, man, your paw. Look at your paw. I forgot to have kids. I just completely spaced that out. I went through my entire life and went, oh, that was what I was forgetting to do. So
Well, yeah, I mean, they're the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows, but the highs far and away outlast and outweigh the lows. That's my view of it.
the sweetest.
I always tell this story. So I always tell this story when I'd had a really, really tough day at work, and I got back. we had our first daughter, our only child at that point, and I was really stressed. I came in through the front door, and my wife just went, shh, and she got me to kneel down in front of our daughter Sophia, who just got her voice, and she just went, oh, like that, and all the stress of the day just melted away.
Aww.
And I was like, yes, thank you so much. You
This is why
bundle
you.
of love.
That's excellent parenting right there. When you are in love with your kids, that's excellent parenting.
Wow,
One of the nicest things I ever heard any parent say, and name drop. It was at Eddie Vedder.
Oh,
I've yet
Jam.
to meet him by the grace of all things grunge, please. I've met everybody else in the band but him. I even have his tambourine over here. He gave me a tambourine. I have one of the catchers. So for those who are under 60, that's Pearl Jam I'm speaking of.
Pearl Jam's awesome.
But Eddie said that it's the greatest job he ever had that doesn't pay him a dime, but makes him the richest man in the world. And I thought that was the coolest parent line ever that I burnt it into my skull. I thought that was beautiful. That was so beautiful.
Yeah. Damn, that's a good one.
Yeah. That guy's all right for, a musician guy. he's okay for a writer.
His voice.
How old were you? Now your kids started, they're like micro children. They got ankle biters all the way up to, oh my God, a teenager.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be a male or female, the teenager?
Female.
Oh, so you're getting ready with the fly swatter for the boys. I got it. Or the girls. I don't know. So or whoever.
I'm just not ready. I'm not ready for the dating scene yet. Oh my God.
My dad's still not ready for me yet, so I totally get it. And I'm a total daddy's girl, so I totally get it. How old were you when you decided you want to do this acting thing?
So I was probably in what's called sixth form over here. So you do your GCSEs, then you do your A levels in sixth form, and then you go to university. So I think 93, 94, 95, about 90, about that time, I think. Oh God, it's so very
We're
long
not
ago.
old. We're not.
I can't remember those. What did I do yesterday? So I was doing kind of A levels not associated with going into anything remotely performative, performance based. And we were sat in a group and with close friends going around and it got on to, I don't know where the subject came up, but who could be an actor? And we were, they were going, no, and oh yes, definitely you. And it came to me and everyone kind of laughed and went, no. and something in me went, screw you, I could be an actor. And I was doing this, I have conversations in my head a lot. And so I was traveling on the way home going, be an actor. If I wanted to be an actor, I could be an actor. And then I got home in the evening, I was thinking, why is this bothering you so much? If you're not going to be an actor, why are you bothered? And then I was thinking, well, maybe you should try acting, because my mum tried, and I was like, no. And so I did Amdram, got some good parts. My biggest one was as Gary Lejeune in Noises Off, which is like a kind of a farce. But it's just hilarious. And I got to fall downstairs as well, which is great because I do like a bit of stunt work. So yeah, and I just got bitten after that, and there was no looking back. Just anything and everything I could do acting wise, I tried to do.
You just became the yes please guy. Yes please.
Yeah, yes please. Yes, I will do that. And then, I mean, inwardly, I'm a shipwreck of anxiety and wasteland of doubt, but outwardly I try to put on a persona.
We have good masks in the entertainment industry. Most of us are in therapy for hours a day.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember there's this, and I tell a lot of people this. A friend of mine did a lot of sports and marathons and stuff, and in one of the rooms of their house, they had all their medals hanging up, and above it was the quote, "That little voice inside your head that says you can't is a liar." And I was like, ooh, I like that.
That's good.
So every time that little dark companion, not the Dexter dark companion, but the dark companion inside me goes, no, you can't be doing this. You can't be. I just say you're lying, and do it anyway. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But
it saves you so much money in therapy, I bet.
Well, yeah, yeah. I've never really tried it, to be honest. I probably should.
Good for you.
But we don't want to open that Pandora's box.
yeah, pandemic. Oh, when you go through the pandemic, what did you do? Because you can't perform in public necessarily, but in your world, you have your own sound studio at home, I suppose.
Well, yeah, I'm in my booth. So there you can see. Studio out there
with the lovely family photos in the background.
Yeah, that was my beautiful wife. So basically, in the build-up, not knowing there was going to be a complete pandemic, a global pandemic, I'd spent an inordinate sum of money building my studio and investing in a brand new website. And so I was like, oh, this is fantastic. I can launch both at the same time. Let the work rolling.
And the site's gorgeous, by the way. It is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you very much. And but then literally, I think a few months after I'd finished having all the work done, the pandemic hit, and suddenly everyone on social media that was in their business said, I've got a home studio. And it could be a home studio or it could be a duvet with pillows. I'm not cussing anyone everyone was in the same boat. So people had to generate their income. And so fair enough, they were saying, I can still work. But it meant I couldn't get noticed. I couldn't do a
because you were in the middle of the river of all these other fish that had the same.
Yeah, because I couldn't get so basically I just had to literally sit it out and hope that, because I found my agent over lockdown and they were like, you do have a good studio, don't you? And I said, yes, I do. And they put the word out, and work started coming in, and I got a couple of big projects that carried me through. And also I was still doing audio description work, which I do regularly and have done for about 25 years. So I was quite lucky.
Now, is your bride also in the entertainment industry? Or is she normal?
No, she's normal.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I know. We probably should go to therapy over that, but yeah. No, she's, God bless her. She is she does all my accounts and stuff like that, as well as raising a family of 4.
That's the big job.
Dealing with me. I'm still waiting to be pulled over and asked to show ideas, because I feel like I'm an 18-year-old driving a 50-year-old's body, basically. So I'm waiting to be pulled over and found out.
Nobody gets that until you start. Once you hit 50, you're like, holy, what? No, I still want to go to. I want to go do things. I don't want to sit and drink tea and play shuffleboard.
I was thinking the other day because my daughter said, "Oh yeah, I was doing triple. Did long jump the other day and did really well." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I used to do triple jump." And I was like, "I could still do triple jump." And my knees went, "No, you couldn't. No, you could try, and you would fail."
Now, did you have to mocap?
Sorry,
Did you have to do mocap
for
for
in the
Baldur's?
past
For
for
Baldur's,
yeah, the whole of Baldur's Gate is all what we call performance capture. So it's
That's
motion and voice captured at the same time, and all the performances were motion captured and voice captured at the same time.
That to me is gorgeous. It's my favorite type of acting right now. It's like, because you just put everything into it.
Well, yeah, but you can see I'm quite animated. So the first part I played in Baldur's Gate was as God, why can't I remember his name now? Marcus, the Flaming Fist guy that everyone hates with the wings. So I played him, and that's fine because he was quite normal. But then when I got the Emperor, they're like, yes, not many gestures, tends to speak telepathically. So if you want to think, you have to kind of like that. And
his mouth is a vajayjay with lots of teeth.
Yeah, with lots of teeth. And if you move your arm, it's got to be any movement is like they're moving through water. So I was like, oh, okay. So I grounded him with the breathing because they've got quite a big chest.
That's Dave Jones said the same thing. He had to get, he's sitting there talking to me like this, and he's like, I had to do this.
Yeah. Yeah. And so once I got the breathing, but it was such a difficult part physically because I wanted to make so many gestures, but I couldn't. So in that regard, it was quite tricky doing the performance capture.
And we did learn that the breathing that you see in the game is actually the actor's breathing.
That's breathing.
They get that animation in there. That's
yeah. And I said to I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not all me. I mean, I leaned heavily on the movement director, the voice director, the guys from Larian. And so, particularly for the breathing, once we got that, the kind of, and it's really kind of subtle. I had to say to the movement director, I said, please keep me honest because I don't want to end up looking like a chicken, kind of.
And those of us who do who do Maya animation and special effects animation, we're the ones that have to go back and
undo all of that. Yeah.
I'm working on a project in Seattle that I can't talk about, but I'm degoofifying a very interesting actor right now who did a lot of this in the middle of their thing. And so I'm doing a lot of bringing it back in, making it look more natural. Okay.
Right. So. Well, I don't doubt that at times that might have happened, but yeah, it was, but it was as an actor, you want challenges like that. You thrive for different characters, and I really relished the chance to play a character that was uber subtle, kind of very kind of knife edge, and to that regard, quite hard to know whether to trust or not. And I think that's a testament to the writing and the direction.
We have Stephen. I'm going to get his last name wrong. I don't have his name in front of me. Steve, we have one of the writers, one of your writers come on next week to talk for a June show. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what he has to say about, because apparently watching you guys do your voice acting, a lot of the writers took time out to do that, to see how they could better write for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I only got to meet my writer, I think, Crystal, afterwards. And I was so glad I did. But they did such a fantastic job, and it makes our job so much easier when the stuff you're saying is kind of rich and plot driven and natural for a character to say.
Did you audition for any other roles in the game?
I mean, I think I came to it quite late on. So I think I went for Marcus, got that, and he was kind of deep RP. RP is what we call received pronunciation, and it can sound quite posh, but
Yeah.
more often nowadays, it's how I'm speaking is RP. And so I got that, and then they said, oh, they want to see you for. So I did that, and I thought that was it. And then they said, oh, they want to see you for the companion, it was called. And I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. So, but again, it was deep, soft RP, and I was like, okay. So again, I think that helped me pitch it right for the Emperor, because then all I could do is soften it and make it a lot more subtle
Yeah.
and more, harder.
Good instincts. Very good.
Yeah, but it's like they say, a lot of people say for auditions that you do is that you just got to make a decision and go with it.
Yeah.
I want this decision for this character based on what I've been told for it. As long as you're basing it from what the hooks and stuff that you've been given, then you just got to make a decision and go for it. If they like it, then you're in. But
most people who do badly at auditions, which I think is silly, because auditions are just a way to perform for somebody.
Yeah.
I'm going to sneeze because I had dog fur up my nose. Excuse me. Is it coming? Is it coming?
You sneeze, I'll talk over you.
Yes, tell me about it.
Michael Keaton said he was struggling in the industry, doing the whole audition circuit and stuff, and then he changed his way of thinking, and he said, so I made the audition a job.
Yeah.
So I was going to a job, and that just took a lot of the pressure off. I just go into the audition and say, right, so what are we doing? Okay, that's great. Let's do this. And he treated it like a job.
Yeah.
And I thought that's a really good thing to do.
Nobody's going to ask you to audition that thinks you're not going to get the job.
No,
they're going to say,
exactly.
Melanie Chadoff and I were talking about this last time. Is that I auditioned for Carol Burnett. I knew I was not going to get the job, because there was already 10 people. It was 10 slots. That was it. They already had 10 people picked out, 4 of which she already worked with before, and 6 of whom she wanted to work with. So I knew I wasn't going to be in the list, but they asked me to audition. So I treated it like it was the best thing in the whole world. And, I knew I wasn't going to get it.
The door open and
I
barged in. Yeah, you've got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, if you make bold decisions that work, but not necessarily for the angle that they're looking for their character, you might still impress them, and they remember you because you did a good audition. So it is, it was.
Yeah, so many
part-time,
one-offs end up being regulars.
Yeah.
All the cast on The Big Bang Theory. Okay, did a little bit about your family, did a little bit about Baldur's Gate. Would you say, because there's another type of acting that a lot of people don't appreciate as much as I think they should, and that is radio airplay, radio scripts, radio, because radio, even the word radio is old fashioned. But just the idea that you can perform, just back in the 20s and 30s, that was our TV in this world. It's just sitting, putting your imagination on, not putting a book in your hand, and just being in the story. And you do that, do you not?
I've done radio drama, a few radio. It's a really hard, well, as is any kind of a sector of our industry, it's hard to get into. And I mean, I think it's also, I wouldn't say it is struggling a bit. Just there are some stalwart places like the BBC radio drama and stuff. It needs to be kept going. And I've done a few and just loved it, because again, when you act with your voice, you have to, it's so much harder. It's a different skill to just acting. And I'm not trying to downplay acting. It's just a different skill.
Well, your body gives you away on stage acting. When you do just your voice has to give so much.
Well, and also, so you go from, there's difference in performance for stage acting to screen acting, obviously, and there's a difference from stage and screen to radio drama. And you have to, if you're making a gesture, if you're threatening someone, and it's like the director's saying, look, you're pointing at his face and you're trying to you come here. You have to put that into your voice, that point has to come across purely from what you're saying. And that's hard. And I'm not saying I'm a master at it at all, because I'd love to do more radio drama.
Yeah, pretty damn good
and learn more. But it is wonderful when you hear good audio, let's say audio drama.
Yes, is there such a thing?
Yeah.
I was Porky Pig in Magic Mountain. That was ordinary. So you decided in uni you're going to do this. What would you consider games to be your primary goal now that you've been in one of the biggest games in the world, or do you think that maybe you're going to keep doing, like, I think your television work is just as beautiful myself, but that's yeah.
I had to take a step back from the screen and TV acting just because I've got a young family. I'm the main kind of breadwinner, and it got really hard because I had stupidly 4 children. To have 4
you love every one
London.
of them, and you'd have them again.
I know, I absolutely would, but it's not conducive to having a house that fits 6. So in London, London prices are astronomical. So we moved out of London, and I'm an hour away by train, which is fine. But for acting, you have to audition and audition and audition for different things, and it costs so much. So I poured all of my efforts into voice work, because I have the studio. I can still go into town, and I felt I had more control, which I needed when juggling family life.
Oh yeah, yeah, because kids are really good at being disciplined and in control.
Well, mine are. I mean, I don't know if anyone else's are, but yes.
Just take the leashes off and let happen.
It's 7 o'clock here. They're all tucked up in bed, reading Dickens.
They have crates. They're good.
Yes, totally. Tarquin is doing so well. No, and I don't have a child called Tarquin. Tarquin's a lovely name. But yes.
Do you see them starting to get the bug, to get the entertainment bug?
They do come up to me and say, Dad, can we get in the studio? And I'm like, yes. Have you got some material? Have you read something that you really want to work? I want them to come to me, because now we've had that conversation. I've said to them, okay, so if there's adverts or a particular cartoon you're watching or a book you're reading in a section that you really, really would like to read out loud, let me know. We'll get it down. We'll get you in the studio. But that's when they have to do the legwork.
That's smart.
And so if they're serious about it, and it's not just a case of, Dad's got
this week I want to try
to go in the studio, then I'll work with them. And that will happen soon, I think, because my two eldest, my daughters are very keen. They are doing stage school on the side. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, it's a heck of an industry.
You have to be a brave person to go into it. And I know that I had to work doing stand-up. I had to work 2 day jobs.
Oh God, yeah.
And I was absolutely. 45 grand a year, which was very high back in the day, doing stand-up. But
yeah, wow, that's really
yeah,
good.
I did okay.
Yeah. But it is that case. You can't. If you're one of the 1% that makes it big, then you're fine. Otherwise, you're going to have a side hustle, or a couple of side hustles. To keep the money rolling in when
or a lot of kidneys.
Resting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The one thing I do advise the youthlings of today who are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, the more life experience you have, the better your storytelling is going to be. Because you'll know how to respond to something that you've actually experienced.
Yeah, but also I'd say just watch loads of stuff. Just watch, what are they doing? Like, I always used to be fascinated by like Anthony Hopkins, Morgan Freeman, people like that who, if you look at their character work, I mean, okay, you've got Silence of the Lambs, which is an extreme, but a lot of the time it doesn't.
Ron Perlman.
Look. Ron Perlman. They make it
Perfect example.
so effortless, and it's like, well, they're not doing. It doesn't seem to me that they're doing anything different from the last time, but they are, and you completely believe the characters that they're playing each time they play them. And
Hellboy so like, is the same guy as Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, deconstruct that. What are they doing? How do they make that work?
It is a science.
When you start down that road, so I'm very much a kind of magpie in, what are they doing? I'll practice that and try that.
I like to ask the whys. Why are they doing that? Why did they stand this way? Why are they looking back? Why are they getting in the shadows? I'm all about why do they do that?
And case in point, most recently, because it's completely different from a lot of stuff that's out there, was there's a drama series called Adolescence, which is a one shot each episode, 50 minutes. And I was like, I don't very often watch
other stuff
that other people have talked about. So I came to it completely not knowing it was a one shot. And 15 minutes in, I was like, I don't think they haven't cut away. This is one shot. And that drew me in, because then it's kind of like it worked for the creatively, because it built tension. And I was suddenly then watching it thinking, wow. Then you appreciate the performances in a different way.
Yep. And you see the new Orson Welles are out there.
So I'd say yes, life experiences, go out and get experiences, but also play, practice, watch, observe.
That's why they call it a play and not a work. Well, they do call it a work. They call it whatever. It's the works of Shakespeare or the Shakespeare's plays. Depends on what day of the week it is.
Shakespeare. Oh, Shakespeare. Sorry.
Who's that guy? Some English guy.
Who is this Shakespeare?
I don't know. His name's kind of goofy. I bet you he plays video games.
He would have done. I
bet he would have.
But then he wouldn't have got anything written. He'd be like, give me a second. Forsooth.
Neil Roberts or something. Starts singing in the middle of
it. Break into song.
Well, I know I've taken up a billion hours of your childhood time, and I don't want
an hour.
I know, right? It goes by so.
What?
I know, and the only reason I know is because my blinker went. It's been an hour, which sucks because I really enjoy talking to you so much. I am going to invite you to my Twitch channel if you want to play a game with me online. Please.
Oh,
we can make that happen.
But I'm not very good.
That's okay, because I just like to play. And I'm one of those people that's like, oh, can I loot that? Can I loot that? Maybe I can loot that.
What happens if I put my hand in here?
Yeah. Oh, there's a guy on the other side.
Thank God we saved the game just now.
The first, I got to tell you, you haven't played it yet, but the first time I played it, and I played it, oh God. I told Dave Jones I had 14 saves. I'm now up to 17 saves.
As in 17 games?
17 individual characters that I played it, yes. But the first time I played it, I did not find Karlak and I didn't find Gale. And I'm sitting there watching Tim Downey on interviews going, who the hell is that guy? When do I run into this character? I haven't found this guy yet. And I was like, you haven't found him yet?
Did you find the Emperor?
Yes. Oh, yes. And we had a very interesting relationship. Me and the Emperor.
Oh, my God. And Tim. Oh, yes. Sorry, Tim was there as well. Sorry. Going back, Tim was there as well as Theo.
Oh, yeah, Tim was back in Arizona.
Tim was, and I hadn't properly met Tim. And so it was.
He's lovely.
Absolutely. He is a wonderful guy and super intelligent. And we had some.
And also in love with his children.
Yeah. Well, I love chatting with him and Dave. We went out for a few bevies of an evening. And it was great. It was just really nice to meet some of the other cast members.
Isn't it? I know you guys don't get to meet because you're in your own different spaces.
Yeah.
Oh, who was the one you were most excited to meet, you think?
I mean, I already knew Sam because we'd worked before together and we were good friends. So and we'd shared an agent at the time. So I knew her. I mean, to be honest, all of them. I remember the first day I was in Pit Stop, the studio. I was really nervous, and Neil came straight over, said hi, introduced himself, and I knew him anyway because I'd audio described some of the TV he'd been in.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
was like, I know you.
And I saw that there's a Hollyoaks ad in one of your commercial reels, and I was like, oh, I wonder why he knows him.
Yeah. And he was fantastic. He was fantastic in that as always. But he was just really down to earth. Just introduced himself, said,
He just seems very humble.
Yeah, just really nice guy, and just we got chatting, and then, as always with Pit Stop, it's kind of ships that pass in the night. So we'd have like 2 or 5 minute conversations, and then someone would come out of the studio going, Neil, we need you back in now, or Scott, yeah, you're in now. Yeah, all right, we'll see. Yeah, okay.
But at the cons, so you've been able to do cons.
I have. I've done a handful. I've been very fortunate to do them at all, considering my character comes in quite late on.
There are a lot of
they've just been fantastic. I mean, the fans for the game, the gaming community around Baldur's Gate 3 is just
they're lovely people. I signed into
so
a few of the
talented.
Discord groups I saw the toys you have and the stuffed toys that
I've got.
There was a what's her name? His name, her name, their name, Shadow of Stars or something like that. What was it?
Shade.
Oh, that
my
artwork
days!
was gorgeous.
She did a portrait of me, but I get. Oh, let's get this. High fans doing massive artwork like that.
Oh, like wow.
And they come to me. They come up to you in a convention, and they say, "Hang on, come here." So I had to do that to annoy my camera to say, follow me. And they come up to you in a convention and go, do you mind if I give you this? No, of course not. Give it, yes, thank you. And let me put it on socials and stuff like that. Just amazing. So talented. And just really, it blows you away.
Fanboy back at them. It's easy to fanboy back at them.
Yeah, and it blows me away that the game has had that much of an impact on people.
The game really has changed people's lives, especially about. I know this is going to sound trite, but not trite. Trite's not the word I'm looking for. Well, I'll think of a word. You're good at the wordy thing, thingamabopper, wordy thingamaboppers. You were doing that yesterday on X or something with all the wordy things. With thingamabob and
trite works. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yes.
Yes.
What was it? Oh yes.
Making up these strange Renaissance words. Bupkins.
Piffle.
But the word I'm thinking of, anyway. I forgot where I was going with this. So
bunkum.
ADHD.
Yes. Trite works.
Trite works.
When
people are giving you things and you're getting, like, I have a fan pile over here. It's like all these paintings and stuff people like they have made, and I have a wall of penguins because I have a really unusual walk. And people would say I walk like a penguin on stage, and I would use that. And finally it got to the point where people would penguins after every show. Yeah. So I've got a wall of penguins over here from fans. When you are face to face with these people and you're telling, this is the point I was getting to, they're telling you how much a game has changed them. And I think a lot of that is because gamers are intrinsically lonely people. I mean, we are in our own little world doing our own little thing, and the only association with other human beings or non-human beings or Githikis or whatever, the great big whatever you're doing, you're identifying some part of them that they realized they had lost or they missed, or they are able to associate with somebody else. And in some cases, a sexual thing, and sometimes it's a emotional thing, but it's always a bonding thing. And I think that's one thing that you and Dave and Tim and Neil and all the gang, Theo, have all done is reached into people. And this is why the game is so much more special than a lot of the games that are out there. You've been able to reach into people and say, you know what, I'm talking to you, Tav, whoever you may be. And that person reads you back and says, you know what, you are talking to me. And I get where you're coming from. And I don't feel like playing with this person today. I feel like playing with that person today.
Yeah. and that's a testament to the game and the conviction of of Larry and Sven to really make a game that's so rounded, not just kind of magical, warring, physical kind of stuff, but actually the emotional, the friendships, and all that kind of the relationship stuff as well. And I think, and I hope that is something that will continue in a lot more games, because I think it really rounds out the characters and makes for more believable, kind of worlds in that genre. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't fit all genres, but yeah, it certainly made an impact with RPG stuff.
I am going to tell you a secret. There was a poll taken on one of the Discord servers of who is the most huggable character, and Halson won by a landslide because
yes,
obviously, well, when you start playing the game, you get hugs from him, and they're huge. They're the big bear, Dave Jones.
Big bear.
You, sadly, the Emperor was the least huggable character.
What?
I didn't know how to break it to you, so I saved it to the end.
I thought you were building me up there. I thought you were gonna say, and you came in a close second. But no, I was last.
You're right behind. Lazelle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's behind Lazelle.
Yeah. But on that note,
sorry, you're breaking. I'm losing you. No. You know what? Inwardly, I'm crying. Outwardly, I'll put on a thick persona and pretend.
You've got stuffed yous that you can hug. So there. So yeah, I think the right people just didn't vote.
Yeah, they don't need to vote.
That's right.
I know they're out there. Yeah.
I thought it was like, I'll just end with that. That'll cheer them up.
If tentacles aren't your thing, you're not going to want to hug somebody.
Or the JJ
tentacles coming out your face and the
I kind of like the skin color though. I like blue. My car is TARDIS blue, so I'm all about the TARDIS. All right, folks, this has been Mr. Scott Joseph, UK. Now you have his website too. Welcome to the Aunty Sochelle Hour-ish show. This has been a lovely chat with him, and listen to it over and over again, because there's probably things that even I missed the first time around, and I will also listen to it over and over again. And Scott, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for hearing my rambling for the better part of over an hour. I'm always humbled and feel privileged to get asked to do these chats. So I just hope I said things that were interesting.